Welcome back to Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is Robbie here again in our first episode of the new year. It is Friday, the 2nd of January, 2026, and we are back. It is me here, and it is Snail on the other end of the line. We have a big episode today. We have Penguins Red Wings recap, and we have some Olympic talk as well with rosters now being released across the spectrum. But before we dive into anything, as I mentioned previously, Snell joins us on the other end of the line here. Snell, how are things here 2 days into your 2026?
Things are good, Robbie. Gosh, I've been, I don't know if you've been up on it or not. I don't think we've ever really talked about this, but I'm still buzzing over the Stranger Things finale that concluded, I believe, on the 31st. They released it. I didn't watch it till the first New Year's Day. I liked that show. I watched it since the beginning. I remember when it hit Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. I've been on TikTok. I've been on Instagram looking at fan theories. I have my own, personal, I've made peace with the show. A lot of people comparing it to Game of Thrones. I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think Game of Thrones might be the best show of all time, one of the best shows of all time, especially maybe the best HBO show ever. But Stranger Things is close to for me, and I liked the finale. I enjoyed it. But other than that, man, it's can't believe it's 2026. I remember when it was 2016. Like it felt like that was still like a few years ago, and now we are a decade ahead. So yeah, I don't know. It's been a couple days of contemplation, quiet. It's cold out here. It's foggy. Nothing to do outside. So that's kind of what I've been up to, man. Are you a Stranger Things guy?
I have never seen a single episode of Stranger Things.
Oh my God, really?
That is, yeah, I guess now I'm going to watch it. I know I've seen, again, I mean, it's been in the zeitgeist for almost a decade now. Like, if you don't at least know what Stranger Things is, then you're living under a rock. Like, obviously, Dave Harbour has been really a big actor in the scene. He's in Marvel now. Millie Bobby Brown, obviously, is I mean, she's still like, it's crazy. She feels like she's been around. She has been around for a decade, but she's still only like 20, 21 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Married that I learned she's married to Bon Jovi's son.
Yeah, I saw that. Like she's now Millie Bon Jovi or Millie Bobby Bon Jovi. Hell of a name.
Yeah. She is, but she's been around forever, and she is only 2021. I think one of the actors is a music artist now too.
I think there's 3 of them that are actually musicians. Like they were previously, and they have bands.
My biggest issue with the show, like Stranger Things, is like it just a decade to go 5 seasons is
valid.
Yeah,
COVID played a part in that. I think
COVID did, and I can't. And there was a writer's strike in there too. I will say,
true.
There were some things that went on, but like they're not like you can't just blame it on there because there's a lot of shows that have kind of gone on this timeline of like growing up, sitcom, Seinfeld, Friends, How I Met Your Mother. Like every year, like you got 20 to 25 episodes. You knew it was coming from like September to May. And like it was just half hour, and now these shows, maybe it's the production, maybe it's just now these actors have so many different gigs lined up that that they can just go, and it delays everything else. I'm gonna have to watch it. I always say I will because I think it's a show that I could vibe with. I'm not like a horror person, but I don't think it's necessarily like Stephen King horror.
No, dude, definitely not. I think you'd like it. Not for the fact, I mean, there is some gore in it, and there is some like, I'd say it's spooky. Like the first season is like a cozy kind of like, it takes place in like the fall, I think, or like maybe in the beginnings of winter. It's in a Midwest town. It's got this like, it's all in the 80s too, and they really do a good job of like 80s vibes. And Robbie, you're kind of like an 80. You might like
I love 80s.
You might like a dingy basement and some board games, like
I remember like, it's probably been 2 or 3 years now. Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill became like a #1 chart topper again because it featured in Stranger Things. So yeah, like yeah, 80. I love 80s music, so that whole vibe is definitely right up my ballpark. So yeah, maybe it's one that now that it's all out, like I can just sit down and plow through it.
Yeah, you don't have to wait 2 years for like for a
Yeah,
cliffhanger.
yeah. Game of Thrones was like a little bit better about that. It felt like we got a Game of Thrones season um, every year. But some shows, again, I'm a Sopranos fan. I think Sopranos is the
There you
best thing
go.
that HBO ever did. So that's my
See, I
vote
never
there.
finished Sopranos. I never
Oh
did.
man, Sopranos is such a. It's weird to say it about a mob show, but such a comfort show. Um, yeah, they like there's certain like there's like a psychological phenomenon that's like why do people just rewatch the same shows instead of getting something new? And because it's all the comfort and the knowing of what's going to happen. Like
Sure.
it's just more like okay, I know how this ends, even if I don't like I know how it plays out. Like it's more the knowing than anything. But I'm gonna put straight. I have a lot of shows on my list, but I am gonna put Stranger Things on there just because I've heard all sorts of opinions about it. I have not heard like many spoilers about it, like outside of like major events in the show. But I am gonna put it on my list, and if I get to it, I will make sure to let everybody know because I'm sure we have plenty of Stranger fans. I mean, it's a huge show; everybody watches it
For sure.
Yeah, hopefully I get to it here sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'm gonna put it on the list.
Throw it on the list, Robbie. But other than that, man, Stranger Things, that's taken up a good amount of time, and it probably will come up again in the future. But how has your new year kicked off out east in Western PA?
It's been rather uneventful. I mean, New Year's Eve was quiet. New Year's Day was just more or less um, chilling. I went back to work. Went back to work today for a few hours, and now it's the weekend again. Now we're kind of like we're on the full reset. Like next week will be the full. I know what day it is. Like the full reset going forward. But no, I mean uneventful, but that's how I like it. Nothing crazy. Just kind of chill. How about you guys out there in Seattle?
Very uneventful. I kind of came down with like a little bit of a head cold, like on New Year's Eve ish, and then I kind of just been sweating that out the last couple of days. So yeah, man, things are chill. It's like I don't know. The older you get, I really start to feel like the hype once the hype is gone for like the holidays, it's really like it's kind of like let's just get back to trudging along here and like getting back to work and kind of let me get back into the muck of things because yeah, dude, it's still a long winter. Like we still got a long way to go until there's anything to really get super excited about. Fortunately, we got hockey season, we've got the Olympics to look forward to, so that's kind of what's on my radar right now, man. Getting back to the grind and watching what I'm hoping to be entertaining and like virtuous hockey for my teams.
Yeah, and the Penguins started the new year off right. They played on New Year's Day, which is pretty rare because that's usually the Winter Classic, but the Winter Classic is actually being played literally right now as we record this. I think they're getting ready to
Oh,
drop
is it on right now?
I believe it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock my time. They haven't dropped the puck yet, but they're doing all the pregame festivities. They are in Miami for the Panthers and the Rangers at whatever stadium the Marlins play at. So it's outside, inside kind of deal.
Dumpster organization.
Yeah. Tire fire. Most exciting thing to happen. Most exciting thing to happen in that stadium, maybe ever. But yeah,
since
so that
Montreal
is actually,
Willis.
Yeah, that is actually tonight, happening as we record this. But the Penguins, they open up their 2026 schedule right off the bat on New Year's Day in the evening, and maybe one of the worst officiated games of the season.
I was going to ask you about that. Is it fair to?
Bad.
I thought it was bad, man. I felt like Patrick Kane slipped that referee like a couple $100 in his little vest pocket, his chest pocket there, and said, "You make sure things go our way."
The Penguins were called for 4 minors in the opening first period of play. They came out of the first period though winning 2-1 on the back of two Crosby goals, one on a power play on a rare Sidney Crosby clapper that just beat Cam Talbot clean. And then he stole a pass and scored about a minute and a half later. But a double minor put the Penguins up against the back, or up on their heels a little bit, and James Van Riemsdyk made it 2-1 after the first period of play. But yeah, tensions were running very high very early in this game between the Penguins and the officials. After
Russ I thought he was going to get a penalty for what would you call unsportsmanlike conduct?
Well, he did in the second period. He got a 2-minute minor for what they call abuse of officials. After he was caught on camera calling them bias to their face. Brian Rust.
He's not the only one calling them that.
No, it was. Yeah, there was a lot of pent up frustration going on between the Penguins and the refs in this game, and the penalties were 7-3 in favor of the Red Wings, and they scored two power play goals on this. Now, there were some penalties like the high stick. Yeah, that's a high stick. Jack St. Ivany throwing the puck over the glass that led to the tying goal.
That was tough for Jack.
Yeah,
that's a learning moment for him.
Yeah, those you can't argue with. But some of the stuff being called in between there was just an absolutely very tightly called game. But it was tight in one direction, which was a very bizarre game. But in the end, the Penguins shrug it off. And this is another one. Blake Lizotte, since he's been back in the lineup, been causing havoc, gets a goal. But Crosby, two big ones in this game. And then they give up the late lead, but whatever. They finally found a way to win a game in overtime again. And in his 1,200th career NHL game, Chris Letang gets the game winner. And, I mean, just a big, big win against a Red Wings team that finally looks like they're taking the steps to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah, man, but the Red Wings just haven't really earned the benefit of the doubt for me personally to put them in there. I mean, they could soil themselves. If they went on a 8-game losing streak and found themselves on the outside and never rebounded, would you be shocked? Conversely, they could go on a 8 to 10 game heater and Patrick Kane could really turn back the clock, and all those young guys that they've got could, start really putting it together at the professional level or not the professional level, at the NHL level, I should say. But yeah, man, that was a big 2 points. I believe, is Chris Letang the only guy on the team that's been able to put this team over the hump there when it comes to overtime wins? Is he the only guy I feel like he's the only dude who scored in overtime to win a game. He's had two of them this year. Not in the shootout, but in actual overtime.
Whatever. I don't know what he's doing in the shootout. That's for.
I don't want to see him in the shootout. Poetic of him to end it, though. Be the guy that's got the puck on his tape and ends it in overtime. Happy for him for that. Hell of a career, man. Like, you want to talk about Chris Letang? Like, how many times? I mean, we've talked about it on here, but how many times, Robbie, have you been like, I don't know if he's coming back from that? And then there's been like also the arguments with his ailments throughout his career. Like, is it even safe for him? Like, do you want this guy coming back? Like, he's got a family. Like, he's a maniac with his compete level and his physical fitness. But you're like, is it worth it? Like, I mean, he had the hole in his heart. He had the strokes. He's had the concussions, the neck injuries. Like, I mean, the guy's been through the ringer. He's a warrior, to say the least. Yeah, we're critical of his game sometimes because it does fall. It's kind of started to fall off over the years. But I mean, the dude is dude's a machine, man. Yeah.
And they have scored. They have won twice in overtime this season. Both goals coming courtesy of Mr. Letang. He scored against the Columbus Blue Jackets in overtime right after Thanksgiving, and then he gets his second here to open the new year. He has 3 goals this year. 2 are game-winning overtime goals. Again, the stats have not been there for Letang this year. It's been a rough year for him on the ice just in general. But listen, last night was arguably the best game he's played this season, and he comes out. It's a big night for him. 1,200 games, like you said, for a guy that has been through a laundry list of just different injuries or ailments, as you said, to get 12, that's a lot of freaking hockey games to play. Like that is just a just a long career, Hall of Fame career, and to have that moment where he can come out and get that goal and have that moment, get it, the assist from Crosby, an absolute rocket that Cam Talbot really had no prayer to stop. Just a great moment for the Tang. And again, now the Penguins, all of a sudden, they come out of that holiday break. They're 3 in a row. They got a big back-to-back this weekend. But I'm sticking with my guns. They just need to get away from the ice for a little bit. They just needed to kind of clear their heads, stop gripping the stick so tight, hang out with your family, celebrate Christmas, eat some good food, just not think about hockey for a few days. And they come back and they've looked just really, really good as we approach the halfway point of this season here. And they're winning games again. They're back within a point of a playoff spot. Look out for Buffalo. I mean, here come the Sabres, guys. But no, you have 3 wins out of the holiday break. You have Detroit again on Saturday. You're beating good teams. You're beating bad teams in this process. So, right. No, I mean, just if you're a Penguins player, like just focus on going out there, playing your game, and getting points. Because if you keep playing like this, the wins are going to keep coming because you're playing really solid hockey these last few games.
Yeah, man, they've been playing solid. They've got 6 out of the last 3 games, 6 possible points. You hope they keep that rolling. It's going to be they're going to be in Detroit's barn, I believe, tomorrow. Are they not?
Yes.
So I don't know. As far as that goes, I hope it's not the same refs officiating. I doubt it will be. But you got it. I mean, the Penguins were the better team, I thought, in that game. You take away all the penalties, and I mean, kind of, the turmoil that the officiating caused. I think this team is, especially right now, is a better team than the Red Wings, and they just got to go in there and handle business trip, man. Take 2 points. They need. I hate to say it. It doesn't. I don't want to sound desperate, but I mean, we're in January here. They need to recoup some points that they could have got. I feel like during that skid that they hit a couple weeks ago, like the Blake Lizotless stretch there. Yeah. And yeah, man, take it to them. Their schedule, I believe, coming up here. Let me just take a quick look. I was looking at their. Let me pull up their schedule here. Their schedule is not going to be super easy, I believe, in the next 5 or so. Where are we at here? Let me just.
Yeah, I mean, you have Detroit.
Columbus.
Yeah, and then you have
New Jersey.
You do have 3 days off, so like you do have a little downtime. And then you got Jersey, who, I mean, Jersey's banged up again, but they always cause problems. Calgary,
it seems ever either.
Yeah, Calgary's they're playing better than they did at the beginning of the season. They're kind of surging, and then you have Boston and Tampa Bay then too. I mean, it's
that's a tall task for anybody right now.
The schedule's not easy, and you have a lot of back-to-back action here too. And then Snail, they're in your neck of the woods here in a couple weeks too. So, I mean, they're going out west again. Busy schedule coming up. January and
I was going to make a point that their schedule didn't look. It's the NHL. Like then the Penguins, they can make any team look like world beaters sometimes when they play them, whether they're good or bad. But I think I just saw Detroit, Jersey, Boston, Tampa, and kind of go, whew, those are some. New Jersey isn't the juggernaut that they were at the beginning of the year. We'll see. They got to just get points, man. Name of the game is just keep collecting points. I think health is a big thing too. Like, can they just stay healthy? We need to get them healthy, or need to keep everyone healthy and playing at the pace they're kind of playing right now, and then get through the Olympic break. And then it's really like, man, kind of make or break. Like, let's see, are they going to stick around in that playoff conversation or peter out? It'll be interesting to see, man.
Yeah, and again, you'll learn a lot, obviously, as the season goes along here. We're about the halfway point. I mean, we already know a lot. Like, we know the Penguins are at least in the conversation. And unless the bottom completely drops out, they're going to be in that conversation probably through the rest of the season. I think there's going to be stretches where it looks like, boy, this is not a good hockey team. And then there's stretches like they're in now where, hey, maybe this team has some juice to it. Yeah, not a again, that West Coast, that Western Canada trip / Seattle is never an easy trip. But you're playing against teams that Vancouver, Seattle, and Calgary, especially teams that, yeah, those should be beaten. And Edmonton is, who knows what you're getting with the Oilers. But there's teams on here that if you want to be a playoff team in April, you got to beat these teams now. Philadelphia should be beat. Columbus twice should be beat. Calgary should be beat. Jersey, yeah, I mean, Jersey's Jersey. Be great to get points there. But then at the end of the month, too, you have Chicago, who you just embarrassed, and then the Rangers, who are not playing good hockey and have not since the beginning of the season. So there's a lot of games on this schedule in January that I'm looking like, if you want to be a serious playoff contender in a couple months here, you got to win these hockey games.
Got to win hockey games, man. And I think they've got, I think they can pull this off. I think that they're a much improved team. This Dan Muse led group. Man, sometimes I wonder though, like, they made the change at the right time, I think. But like, man, that Sullivan system, some of those years, like, you wonder if they'd made a move. Dan Muse wasn't available, but had they maybe jumped on this sooner, you never know how some of those seasons would have turned out. But yeah, man, I was going to ask you, what did you think of Yegor Chinnikov's debut with the Penguins? He took Koivinen's spot on that third line, the kid line. What'd you think?
Guy can skate, that's for certain. A lot of speed, something the Penguins have kind of been missing at times. Yeah, he definitely has some giddy up, which is good to see. He definitely gave that line a bit of a boost. Again, with being the fact that they had to kill off 7 penalties, he only got 11 minutes of ice time.
Yeah.
So like it's very, very can't get a good read on really anything other than he made a nice pass, a lot of good speed, which that is a part of his scattering port. He does have a good top end speed. So if you can turn that speed into a good forecheck, the good forecheck turns into some sustained offense, and then we just keep going from there then. But I'm interested to see him in a more expanded role. Hopefully they don't have like 20 minutes of penalty time in either of these games this weekend, and we get a good look of what Chinnikov can bring. And hey, maybe he's a little amped up for that game on Sunday against his former team too. So for very, very early glimpses, I'd say the eye test was positive on Thursday night, but hopefully we get a better look here as this month goes along, because hopefully he's just a change of scenery guy, and he can turn that speed into some offensive output and give that line another boost.
Yeah, we hope so, man. It'll be interesting. And even just as a depth piece, like, he's young, maybe he can, take something from Dan Muse's system. It'd be interesting to see, give him the rest of the season basically, and just kind of see what he can kind of turn into under a totally different system. But I was going to ask you to kind of stay on the topic of that third line, that kid line, we'll call it. Rutger McGroarty, man, he's played 15 games. He totally missed training camp this year. At times he really seems to kind of just blend into the games. He hasn't been super noticeable at times. He's really not bringing a ton of physicality. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points. He's a -5. Where are you kind of at with Rutger at this point in the season? And I'm curious, he's not getting power play time and he's not getting penalty kill time. He's really just relying on kind of figuring it out 5-on-5 on that third line or whatever, the kid line, I guess you'll call it. Is there any, are you concerned about him, or is this just a year where if he ends the year with, 8 goals and 10 points or something, 9 points. It's just kind of a write-off for the sake of development, or is this like is there any, are you raising an eyebrow at some of these shifts he's taken? Where are you at with Rutger? I've been meaning to ask you.
I just keep running him out there. Let him kind of get his legs again. The missing the start to the training camp and the late start to the season definitely set him back, especially when you're still a player in development like this. Again, him and Kindle are going to make magic at some point. So yeah, just keep rolling him out there. Let him do his thing, and the results are going to come. He has too much talent, big body. So I have no problem with McGroarty. I think eventually the offense will come, and we'll be talking about the beginning of the season as just a blip, and hopefully he gets a full off season.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. It'll be interesting to see. He just needs to stay healthy down the stretch here, and he's going to get some time off during the Olympic break, obviously. But I'm always watching that line, man. I think Kindle just, the offense hasn't really been just popping off for him, but that's okay. He's 18 years old, and he's getting a little bit of second power play time. He doesn't kill penalties. He's getting third line-ish minutes. But this year I had a lot of expectations for Rutger McGroarty. I feel like every game I see him in the lineup, I'm kind of looking for him to make something happen. He had that one beautiful goal a few games ago, maybe a couple weeks ago at this point now. But yeah, man, I was looking at his minutes, and it's like, yeah, he doesn't kill penalties. He's on neither of the power plays at any time. There's an opportunity for him to definitely earn some more ice time there, I think, and get on a power play, but he's got to start producing a little bit. And I remember looking into his scouting report. He's a physical kid. I'd like to see a little bit more of that physicality sometimes. Get in there and, he always goes to the net, which I like. But anyways, yeah, just curious what you were kind of thinking as far as Rutger goes. I'm really curious to see in Columbus or in Detroit and Columbus, see that line of, hopefully they keep it together. Yegor, is it Yegor or Yeager?
It's probably Yegor, given that he's Russian.
True. That line, and yeah, man, it's gonna have my eyes on the youth. What do you think of Koivunen? What do you think of Koivunen's game right now? Let's just riff really quickly on these kids. We haven't really touched on them too much. Koivunen has not scored a goal yet.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he scored. Was it against St. Louis? Maybe, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, he does have a goal.
Or did he have a goal against Tampa Bay?
Might have been Tampa Bay. I can't remember exactly. I think it might have been Tampa Bay. Now that you say that, that game where they
1 goal and 3 assists. Yeah, it was against Tampa. That I'll never forget. It was an absolute snipe.
Yeah,
and he walked down Broadway and tucks it in under the bar. These kids, man, they're definitely getting thrown out there, and Dan Muse is not Sullivan, man. He's not taking them off anything, putting them on a fourth line role. He's letting them just go out there, and I don't want to say struggle, but kind of. He's letting them go out there and just do what they can and get their legs.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need to do. You got to let them just struggle through it, and that's the learning experience. That's the development piece, and they become better for it. And Kendall obviously was just a natural pretty much at everything, just kind of went right into it, and has been good since day one. Ups and downs here and there, but not nearly peaks and valleys, I'd say. But Koivunen, you just got to let them fight through it. Let them learn. Just keep putting the puck on net. Your shots are good enough. They're going to find twine at some point. So just, be patient, loosen your grip a little bit, and the goals will start flowing then. But just let them work through it. That's really all you can do. And I think that's the right approach to it, because, I mean, you can't just keep sending them up, sending them down like that, especially when they're too good to play in Wilkes-Barre. They're better off just taking their lumps in the NHL and moving forward from there.
I agree wholeheartedly. Well, Robbie, that they end up they get 2 points in that game in Detroit. It was a relief to see them at least, it was a shame for them to give up that lead that they had in the third period on the power play or on the penalty kill there. They end up getting 2 points in overtime, no shootout needed. You want to shift over to talking about these rosters were just released for the Olympics, man, and the Olympics is sneaking up on us pretty quick here.
Yeah, I mean, we are now like 7 weeks, I think, from the Olympics. The break officially, I think, opening ceremonies is the 6th, so we're really like 5 weeks away at most. If we're being honest here, the break for the NHL starts on the 5th. The players will then fly over to Italy to play. But yeah, the rosters have been released. As we know, Sidney Crosby was already going for Team Canada. That was no surprise there. Not really much on Team Canada that really surprised me, other than Tom Wilson making the cut. But Tom Wilson's playing at a point per game pace. I mean, that is as much as we like to rag on Tom Wilson. You can't say too much. I mean, he's definitely kind of turned his game around a little bit. But yeah, I mean, not too much from the Canadian roster that really stuck out. The big question there, obviously, is going to be the goaltending. You get, I believe it's Jordan Binnington, Darcy Kemper, and Logan Thompson are your goalies there. It seems like Binnington is the guy, but who knows how quickly that could change if things go south there. But Canada, I mean, there's just so much talent. I mean, what more can you say? Really, you have Nate McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, Sidney Crosby, just a standout studs all over the place. And yeah, I mean, they're veteran, but again, as the first time being back at the Olympics as 2014, a lot of these guys are going to be getting their first taste this time around.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you just look at that. No qualms with this roster. A lot of people, a lot of Canadians are fretting over the subtraction of Sam Bennett for the insertion of Anthony Cirelli, and kind of people being like, that's, Cooper's boy, whatever. Valid, I guess. But I mean, I think once you get past that, like, sort of like top 6, it's like you got one job. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of, you're really looking for loose threads there to complain about. I mean, your top 6 is going to be at some point in some arrangement or another. It's going to be Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart, Macklin Celebrini, or Brandon Hagel. But Mitch Marner, you could throw his name in that hat, and then your bottom 6. And it's like, dude, I mean, yeah, you're really pulling at just loose threads trying to complain about that roster. That roster looks like it's primed and ready. I mean, their back end, dude. Drew Doughty's the old man on that, and you got Devon Taves, Cale Makar, Thomas Harley, Josh Morris. Like, this is just insane. The goalies is the only thing that you could probably just hope that one of them takes it and is suitable. I mean, Jordan Binnington this year, I just don't think without the Four Nations win last year. And I don't know if he's making this team. Between Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper, Darcy Kemper's got a Stanley Cup. But other than that, I mean, Logan Thompson's pretty unproven, I'd say, as far as, like, winning pedigree. He's having a good season. He's had a couple of good years, but
all three Canadian goaltenders have Stanley Cups.
Logan Thompson has a Stanley Cup?
He was on Vegas when they won.
He what? Oh, was he the backup?
I think so, yeah.
Behind Aiden Hill then, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell of a roster, man.
I mean, the big winner here is Max Celebrini. I mean, you couldn't ignore it at this point. The only question is, would he be joined by Bedard, and not this time around? But I mean, Celebrini is going to be the guy that is the star for the next 10 years for Team Canada. Yeah. I mean, that is as simple as that. Horvat making the team, I didn't necessarily see coming. Marchand.
Horvat was that's definitely one that you wonder, but I guess, is he having a good year or something?
Oh wait, that's the wrong guy. I mean, he didn't play in the He was good for Team Canada in the World Championships last year. He didn't play in the Four Nations. Um, yeah, just kind of one that I didn't see coming with a guy like Sam Bennett who was there. Horvat's having, I mean, he's around a point per game this year. He's not doing too bad. But yeah, with a guy like Bennett who is like a heart and soul kind of player, but hey, they give the nod to Horvat in this situation. Leafs fans will be forced to cheer for Mitch Marner again. So good for them. Sam Reinhart makes it. Again, there's just so much talent. Nick Suzuki made it as well. But yeah, I mean, the goaltending is going to be your big question mark. If it holds up, they're the favorites. If it doesn't, that opens the door for a lot of other teams here. So, yeah, it gives you a good starting point. They're obviously, if you're ranking the teams, they're probably number one. But shifting over to the United States here, obviously a lot of consternation about this roster. Very, very Four Nations heavy. The goalies, Hellebuck, Ottinger, Swayman, same as the Four Nations. No big shock there.
Murderers love goalies.
Yeah. But then the forward list, your standard guys, Eichel, who was already named, Austin Matthews, an obvious one, Jake Gensel, Dylan Larkin, but some surprise names here as well. Tage Thompson does enough to make it after not being in the Four Nations last year, as does Clayton Keller. He is on as well, which is great for those guys. But then the big question marks here, JT Miller, Vincent Trocheck, and Brock Nelson again on this roster after making the Four Nations last year. And you look at the guys, Jason Robertson is left home, Cole Caulfield is left home, and it makes you wonder what is the game plan here, because that is a lot of talent, a lot of scoring talent to just leave back home in the States for this tournament.
No hate to Brock Nelson, but I just don't understand how he makes it, even in sort of like a defensive-minded veteran checking role. I mean, you're going to leave Cole Caulfield, probably one of the most like electric, scoring wingers in the game right now, and he plays in a big market too. The spotlight is pretty big on him every game. I just don't know how you go without him. I think that. Trocheck, I can see the kind of, Trocheck in like a checking kind of defensive role. I think he's a good player for that. I can see the argument. Am I the only one who doesn't understand why JT Miller has to be in these conversations? I mean, like, say what you will about his, the noise around him and the character qualities at times or whatever. And like, he has had great offensive output years. He's a centerman. I get it. But I'm like, am I the only one that's just like, why does he have to have his name in the hat? Like, it feels like all the time.
Maybe because he plays for Mike Sullivan.
Is he a Sullivan guy? That's his captain?
I guess, but I mean, yeah.
Why isn't Brian Rust? Brian Rust would look great on this roster. That's biased as hell, but like the versatility of Brian Rust, like.
Yeah, it just feels like they're trying to play a game that's more fit for a Four Nations tournament than it is for an IIHF tournament. And I just don't know how that is going to play out in the long run. I guess we'll see. They're obviously still a loaded team, but it feels like some guys were left at home. And one of the big ones that we did not even mention yet on the blue line, Adam Fox did not make this team. Seth Jones gets the call over him. Seth Jones having a great year, but man alive, I certainly hope that is not a decision they are looking to regret or looking back on regretting in a couple weeks after this tournament, because Adam Fox is him and Quinn Hughes are the only two American defensemen to win a Norris Trophy besides Brian Leetch. And they're both active, but Seth Jones gets the call over Adam Fox.
I think that the Seth Jones call, if this was before he got traded to Florida and he was on Chicago, he's not even getting a sniff at camp. But because he won a Stanley Cup with a stacked Florida team and was a big piece in that win. I think that's the reason why he gets the nod over the Norris winning defenseman in New York, who is cupless. Yeah, with this one, honestly, I think that when you've got, I think that it's the puck movers that I'm curious about for this team, because I think you've got the kind of shutdown guys. You've got Jacob Slavin. You've got Zach Werenski. Charlie McAvoy is a pretty rugged D-man who can move the puck, but I don't think you're looking for Charlie McAvoy to be on power play 1 by any means.
Well, McAvoy has a very big advantage of being
Why is that?
The son-in-law of Mike Sullivan.
Yeah.
Not saying that was the reason, but
that'd be a tough conversation at family dinner if he didn't.
Yeah. But in the Four Nations last year, they did not have Quinn Hughes. So they do have Quinn Hughes back for this, which is obviously a huge boost. Hanifin, I think, is your extra D-man here. Obviously, everybody else, Faber, Hughes, McAvoy, Sanderson, Slavin, Werenski, and Jones should probably be on the ice as much as possible. But Fox just feels like a huge swing and a miss.
I guess we'll see. I'm not the biggest fan of Fox's game personally, but I do know he's effective. I mean, he shoved it right when when the Penguins were last in a playoff series. He was pretty good in that. I'm a fan of Brock Faber. Quinn Hughes has come on and I didn't see Quinn Hughes being like the Patrick Kane of defensemen one day. I never saw it happening. I thought he was undersized. I thought he didn't have necessarily the boots. But, I mean, you're thinking Quinn Hughes is probably your number 1 power play guy, right?
Oh, easily, yeah.
You're going to have Quinn Hughes slinging it around too. I mean, I don't even know how you figure out a power play with this guy. I'd probably have Tage Thompson in Phil Kessel's spot or Ovi's spot right there on the half wall. I'd probably have Jake Gensel down low. No, Austin Matthews probably down low, kind of. And then you'd have Matt Boldy on the left side or on the right side one-timer. I mean, this is a hell of a roster, but like you said, it'll be interesting. You look at Canada's roster. Everyone hopes it comes down to Canada, US, right?
I think, that's what obviously all the networks want. That's what I'm assuming basically everyone wants. It's not going to be necessarily etched in stone, not when you have a very good Sweden team, a very good Finland team, and the Czechs are going to be there ready to make some noise too, because they were mad that they didn't get included in the Four Nations. So I think the Czechs are going to want to have a say in this as well. So I think overall, everybody's looking for Canada-US in the gold medal game, but all it takes is one bad game or one game where a goalie just stands on his head to completely fold that narrative.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, man. There's a bunch of, the hockey's just gotten so good worldwide. Like, it's not like it used to. People are complaining in the World Juniors that like Canada and US aren't just crushing, like Latvia or like, whatever, Swiss or whatever. But you think about it, it's like, dude, other teams have evolved over the years. Like, the programs have evolved over the years. These Olympic, you're going to see former NHL players that have been playing overseas, like in these tournaments. It's not going to be this, like, it's not going to be a bunch of farmers, from these countries you've never heard of. It's going to be like these are professional athletes with pride, man. It's going to be I'm sure it's going to make for some exciting hockey. I love how everyone's like, Tom Wilson, why do you even bring him to a tournament like this? He can't punch people's heads in. And it's just like, everyone knows you can't fight in these. It's not going to be the Four Nations.
Yeah.
So,
but in Penguins news here, Rickard Rakell and Erik Karlsson both selected for Team Sweden. That is a far cry from a year ago when we weren't sure if Karlsson was going to get selected because of some rifts he had with the Swedish Federation, and he wasn't playing great under Mike Sullivan. And Rickard Rakell at the beginning was completely left off Team Sweden roster until some injuries allowed him a space. But now they both know they will be making the journey over. So congrats to both of them. Karlsson, I believe, has played for them before in the Olympics before.
Yes.
Rickard Rakell has not. So Yeah, big moment for both of them. A very good Sweden team with guys like Jesper Bratt, Gabe Landeskog back to his old self, Adrian Kempe, Elias Pettersson, Lucas Raymond, Hedman, obviously, Brodin, Dahlin, and then you have Gustafsson, Markstrom, and Wallstedt in goal. So, I mean, that's a team that could very well completely flip this tournament on its head if things go right for them. And that, again, a stacked team that has won gold before. They have a heritage up there, so it'll be very interesting to watch how that plays out as well. And then the other team to release its roster today was the Finnish team, a team with a lot of completely. I think there's only one non-NHL player on this team, but former Penguin Olli Mata is heading over to Italy here. A lot of half of the Dallas team, because apparently they're just all Finns, in Rantanen, Rupe Hintz, Eric Halla, Esa Lindell, Miro Heiskanen, a ton of Finnish talent in the NHL, and a dark horse here that with the correct goaltending, a guy like Saros in goal, you know what he can do. He hasn't had a great year, but all it takes is in a tournament like this, get hot for a couple weeks, and next thing you know, you're putting a gold medal around your neck. So yeah, no easy road to a Canada-U.S. final, but it's certainly going to be some exciting hockey.
It's going to be great, man. It's just so cool that the NHLers are back. It's been so long. It's been way too long, and it's gonna make for some upsets, Robbie. I don't think it takes a genius to say, like, I'm calling it now. I'm going to put dude. I think that I think there's going to be one major upset in this tournament.
Yeah, I don't know who it's going to come from, and I don't want it to be the United States, but suck? Yeah, that would really suck, but. I mean, there's just so much talent across all these countries now. Like, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is. You have to earn it. You have to earn every shot, every goal, every moment. You have to be at your best. In a short tournament, things can go bad very quickly. There is no room for error when playing like this. So I'm excited for it. I know you are, Snail. And we're about 6 weeks out from puck drop over in Italy, and it's going to be very fun to follow along.
Super fun, man, and we'll be there to cover it because there's not going to be any Penguins games happening. That's for sure.
They'll be on. Those guys will be on vacation. Where the ones that are not participating, so most of them will be on vacation in God knows where. But
what does David Ortiz say? Cancun.
Yeah, Cancun. But yeah, it's somewhere warmer than Pittsburgh. I can't assure you that. So, Snail, do you have anything before we wrap this up?
I don't, man. This was good to get back and kind of touch base into the new year. First pod of the year. God, we haven't recorded a pod since last year, Robbie.
Yeah, I know it's been so long. It's crazy. Sorry for making you guys wait till 2026 to hear from us again, but. We are back. The Penguins get the new year.
Penguins are back.
Penguins are back. They have started the new year about as good as you could hope. They are 1-0 in 2026, and they are actually 3-0 since coming back from the Christmas break. So momentum is back on their side. We are now into the kind of the dregs of the season. We're about the halfway point. A lot of hockey because of the condensed schedule, so a lot to pay attention to. This weekend, the Penguins are in Detroit and then in Columbus on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. We just hope that we have more good news to talk about when we're back at it.
Thanks. It's all good though. Blake Lazotte's back, so they're not.
Blake Lazotte's back. Penguins are fixed. Cup coming. But so yeah, we'll let you guys go there. Enjoy your first weekend of 2026. For Snail, I'm Robbie. You guys have a good one. We'll see you on the other side.